Hello, hello, YouTube. This is Set Free from the Trap Ministry. I am on here to share about church, the real church. A lot of people don't know what the church is. So I'm going to share about what the church is, okay? A lot of people have not got the revelation on what the church is. They don't know what the church is. So I'm going to share about the real church. What is church? Okay? According to Jesus Christ, the real church. So I'm on here to share about the real church, the real church, the real, the real church. The real church is Jesus' people. It says in First Corinthians, this is First Corinthians 3:16. Do you not know that you yourself are God's temple, and that God's spirit dwells in you? A temple is a place of worship. So our body is a temple. Jesus Christ left his Holy Spirit to live on the inside of us. So the church is always on the inside. Jesus Christ, we're God's representative. So the reason why we go to the building is to fellowship. We can fellowship anywhere. We can fellowship in the park. Okay? The building is just a meeting place. The building is not the church. Okay? Jesus Christ is not bricks and mortars. He don't live in no building. He lives inside of people who have a relationship with him. So I'm in church every day. I never leave church. I never leave. I never leave church at all. First Corinthians 3:16. Do you not know that you yourself are God's temple? That you're God's temple, and that God's spirit dwells in you. I have the Holy Spirit of God living on the inside of me every day. So he said in Hebrews 10:25, don't forsake the gathering. The reason why we come there is to fellowship. But we can fellowship, we fellowship every day. Every day. So that's the purpose of going there, is to encourage one another. Okay? So we bring the church there. A lot of people don't know what the church is. Even some Christian people don't know what the church is. They think the church is that building. The church is not a building. The real church is Jesus' people. I'm praying that Jesus would show people, that Jesus Christ would show people what the church really is. That the church is not a building. Christian men and women, we can meet anywhere. We can meet in the park and we can still be in church because we are God's temple. We are God's temple. A temple is a place of worship, having God's Holy Spirit live on the inside. But the purpose of going to that building is to encourage one another. That's what it says in Hebrews 10:25. Don't give up meeting together. You know? So the real church is Jesus' people. Fellowship is good. That's a good thing. Nothing wrong with fellowshipping. That's nice. But the real church is Jesus' people. It's not a building. The church is not a building. Okay? So we don't just go to church. We are the church. We bring the church there. I'm just praying that Jesus would show people what the church is. He would show them what the church is, okay? Because a lot of them don't know. They have no clue what the church is. So it did say in Hebrews 10:25 about not forsaking the gathering, how we supposed to come together and to encourage one another. That's the purpose, okay? But a lot of people do not know what the church is. So this is what it says in Hebrews 10:25. I'm going to it right now. It says a calling to prevent sense to faith in faith. I'm going to Hebrews 10. Let me see, Hebrews 10:25. Let me find Hebrews 10:25, and it's talking about fellowshipping. Hebrews 10:25. Hebrews 10:25 says, let me see. It says in Hebrews 10:25, okay, do not give up meeting together as some are in the habit of doing, but to encourage one another. That's the purpose. Now, that's the purpose of why we're fellowshipping. It's not about I'm just going to church. The purpose of why we meeting at that building is to encourage one another. That's why. But the real church is Jesus' people. That's the real church. We bring in the church there because the real church is Jesus' people. So Christian men and women who have a relationship with Christ, a real relationship, we never leave church. When a Christian man or woman who has a relationship with Christ, when they get in their car, they still in church. We're still in church. We never leave church. So it's not, I'm going to church. No, we're going to a building. That is a building that we're going to. Okay? That's a building. We're going there to fellowship with others who have a relationship with Christ. The church is already on the inside. The church is already on the inside because we're God's temple. The purpose of going there is to encourage. The purpose of going there is encourage. But people there, a lot of people there don't know what the church is. They think the church is the building. They don't know. I pray that Jesus Christ would show each Christian man what the church really is. A Christian man and woman never leave church. We never leave church because 1 Corinthians 3:16, do you not know yourself that you're God's temple and that God's spirit dwells in you? So Jesus Christ, Holy Spirit lives on the inside of each person who has a relationship with Christ. The real church is God's people. The purpose of meeting there is to encourage one another. But we already in church. The church is already on the inside of us. That's just the building where we meet. The Most High God don't live in no building. He live in the people. So if a Christian man or woman go to the grocery store, they still in church because the Holy Spirit of God lives on the inside of them. Okay? Every single day. Thank God for the fellowship, but we bring the church there because we're God's temple. A temple is a place of worship. So thank God for the gathering and stuff, but the Most High God don't live in no building. A lot of people in the world don't know that. They don't know that. So I'm praying that Jesus Christ would show people what the church really is. That he would show the world. He would even show some Christian people who don't even know. So it's not that I'm just going to church. No, the church is already on the inside of those who have a relationship with Christ. The purpose of going to that building is to encourage one another. Hebrews 10:25 said, don't give up meeting together. So the purpose of going to the building is to encourage one another. That's the purpose. But a Christian man or woman is always in church. They're always in church. 1 Corinthians 3:16. Do you not know that you yourself are God's temple and that God's spirit dwells in you? So I'm in church every day because I got the Holy Spirit of God living on the inside of me. But the purpose of meeting together is to encourage one another. That's the purpose. Hebrews 10:25. I'm just praying that Jesus Christ will show people what the church really is. The real church is Jesus' people. Okay? Corinthians 3:16. Hebrews 10:25 said, don't give up meeting together. We only come together to meet up in that building to encourage one another. But a Christian man or woman is always in church. We always in church because we got the Holy Spirit of God living on the inside of us. But I'm praying that Jesus Christ would show people what the church really is. Bye-bye.